The skies above India and Pakistan have become a dangerous stage for military action. On May 7, 2025, tensions, always simmering between these nuclear-armed neighbors, boiled over. India launched airstrikes against targets within Pakistan. These airstrikes, according to India, were aimed at terrorist infrastructure. Pakistan claims the strikes were an act of aggression, targeting civilians. Adding fuel to the fire, Pakistan claims to have shot down multiple Indian drones that crossed the border. The situation is volatile, with both sides on high alert. The world watches, holding its breath. The recent escalation began with claims from Pakistan that it had successfully neutralized 12 Indian drones. These unmanned aerial vehicles, according to Pakistan, were targeting strategic locations near major cities. One drone attack resulted in the death of a civilian and injuries to 4 soldiers. India, for its part, maintains that its actions were in response to a deadly attack that occurred within its own borders. In April 2025, a militant attack in Indian-administered Kashmir resulted in the deaths of 26 people. India holds Pakistan responsible for harboring the militants it believes are behind the April attack. India insists that its recent airstrikes were not an act of war, but rather a necessary response to terrorism. The April attack in Kashmir, according to Indian officials, was a clear act of aggression supported by elements within Pakistan. India claims its strikes targeted 9 specific locations, all associated with militant activity. These targets, India maintains, were not civilian in nature but rather key components of the infrastructure used by terrorists operating against India. The Indian government maintains that it will not tolerate safe havens for those who seek to harm its citizens. The strikes, however, have been met with condemnation from Pakistan. Pakistan accuses India of fabricating the justification for these attacks, claiming that the targeted locations were civilian in nature. International observers have expressed concerns about the potential for civilian casualties, urging both sides to exercise restraint. Despite international pressure, India remains resolute in its stance. The fight against terrorism, according to the Indian government, is a fight for the safety and security of its people, and it will take all necessary measures to protect its borders and its citizens. Pakistan, reeling from the Indian airstrikes, vehemently denies any involvement in the April Kashmir attack. The Pakistani government has called the Indian strikes a blatant act of aggression, claiming that the targets were not military installations, but civilian areas. Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif has vowed to avenge the loss of life, promising a strong response to what he calls Indian aggression. The Pakistani military, under the leadership of Army Chief Asim Munir, is reportedly considering its options. While some Pakistani officials initially claimed to have shot down 5 Indian aircraft, including 3 advanced Rafale jets, these claims remain unverified. The situation in Pakistan is tense. A state of emergency has been declared in the Sindh region, and security has been heightened across the country, particularly in areas bordering India. Flights have been suspended, and airports remain closed. The Pakistani government has accused India of warmongering and has appealed to the international community for intervention. Pakistan insists that it wants peace, but is prepared to defend itself against what it perceives as Indian aggression. The fear is that this dangerous escalation could spiral out of control, leading to a wider conflict between the two nuclear-armed nations. The international community has reacted with alarm to the escalating tensions between India and Pakistan. The United Nations has called for both sides to exercise restraint and engage in dialogue. Neighboring countries have expressed concerns about the potential for a wider conflict, urging India and Pakistan to take immediate steps to de-escalate the situation. Iran's foreign minister, currently in Delhi for diplomatic talks, has offered to mediate between the two countries. The situation remains volatile. The threat of further military action hangs heavy in the air. Civilians on both sides of the border are living in fear, caught in the crosshairs of a conflict that has simmered for decades. The world waits, hoping that diplomacy will prevail, that cooler heads will prevail. The alternative, a full-blown conflict between two nuclear-armed nations, is too terrifying to contemplate.